Hi everyone, I am Rinesh Adiyolil. I am delighted to welcome you all to today's session on social research. It's an essential area of study for any sociology student. Whether you are pursuing your undergraduate or postgraduate degree, understanding the core concept of social research will give you the tools needed to analyze society, explore social problems, and conduct your own research effectively. This is the first session in the series where we will be building a comprehensive understanding of social research. In today's session, we will focus on the aims of social research, types of research methods, and the process of scientific inquiry. These fundamental topics are crucial for developing a solid base as you start to approach research systematically. In the upcoming sessions, we will explore more advanced concepts and research methodologies, diving deeper into the practical application of these ideas. So, keep an eye out of future discussions that will help you enhance your research skills. I encourage you to engage actively with today's material, ask questions, and think about how these concepts apply to real world situations. By the end of this session, I hope you will feel confident in your understanding of these key topics and ready to explore even more in the sessions to come. Let's get started. And don't forget, you will have access to detailed study notes at the end of today's presentation to help with your exam preparation. Now, let's dive into the world of social research. Let's begin by looking at the aims of social research. Social research is essential because it helps us understand how society functions, why people behave the way they do, and how social issues emerge. Understanding society. Understanding society is one of the main aims of social research is to understand the structure and functions of society. Think about our everyday lives. Family, education, religion, and the economy are all parts of a longer social system. For example, if we want to know why certain regions have high employment rates, we study the economic and educational structures of the society. Studying individual behavior. Studying individual behavior is and another aim is to study how individuals behave in society. We all make choices, but these choices are often influenced by external factors like family, culture, and peer groups. For instance, why do people of different age group prefer certain types of jobs? Social research helps us find answers to such questions. Then the third one, evaluating social problems. Social research is also about identifying and solving problems such as poverty, crime, and inequality. If we want to understand why poverty persists in the wealthy country, research helps us uncover root causes like education, income disparity, and governmental policies. Exploring social realities. Social realities refer to the behaviors and intersections that make up our everyday life. Through research, we can explore how new trends like social media influence society. For instance, how does the rise of social media affect personal relationships or mental health? Social research can provide insights. In short, the main aim of social research is to solve real world problems, understand human behavior, and improve society. Now let's explore the characteristics of scientific research, which ensures that research is credible and reliable. The first one, verifiability. This means that research can be checked or replicated by other researchers. If I conduct a study and another researcher follows the same steps and gets the same results, my research is verified. This helps build trust in the findings. Accuracy. Accuracy is about being precise. When we collect data, we must make sure that it reflects the reality of what we are studying. For example, if I am measuring income levels, my data needs to accurately represent what people actually earn, without mistakes or estimations. Objectivity. Researchers free need to be impartial. This means we shouldn't let personal beliefs or emotions affect the way we collect or interpret data. For instance, if I believe that a particular policy is ineffective, I must still conduct research objectively without bias influencing the results. Systematization. Scientific research follows a structured, organized approach. These are specific steps we follow, like forming hypotheses, collecting data, and analyzing results. This systematic process ensures that the research is thorough and repeatable. These characteristics helps ensure that the research we conduct is trustworthy and useful for solving social issues. Social research can take many forms, depending on the question we want to answer. Let's look at the types of research. Quantitative research. This involves collecting numerical data. For example, if I want to study the literacy rate in a particular district, I might conduct a survey, collect the data, and then analyze it statistically to find patterns. This type of research is good for identifying trends and making predictions. Qualitative research. This is more about exploring people's experiences, feelings, and perceptions. Instead of numbers, we look for deeper insights through interviews or focus groups. For instance, if I want to understand how students feel about online education, I would conduct interviews to gather detailed responses. Third one, comparative research. This type of research compares different groups, cultures, or time periods. For example, if I want to compare crime rates in rural versus urban cities or urban areas, I would gather data from both settings and compare the results. Longitudinal research. This is when we study the same group of people over a long period of time to see how things change. For example, researchers studying health behaviors might follow the same individuals for 10 to 20 years to see how their habits change as they age. Each of these types of research gives us different tools to study society. Depending on our research questions, we choose the method that best helps us answer it. What exactly is social research? Let's define it clearly. Social research is the systematic study of society to understand human behavior, social institutions, and interactions. It's about gathering data, testing theories, and making conclusions based on evidences. Focus. The focus of social research is to explore social realities, things like family structure, education systems, political dynamics, and more. For example, when we study how education impacts job opportunities, we are conducting social research. Purpose. The purpose of social research is both to expand our knowledge and to solve problems. For instance, if there is a problem with unemployment in a region, social research can help find the causes and offer solutions. In short, social research is about studying society with the goal of improving it. Can you think any of recent social issues where research played an important role in finding solutions? Now let's break down the steps in the scientific method, the process we follow to conduct social research. Formulating a problem. We start by identifying a social issue or question. For example, we might ask, why is the dropout rate in rural schools higher than the urban schools? Literature review. We gather background information by reviewing existing studies. This helps us understand what has already been discovered and where our research can contribute. Hypothesis formation. A hypothesis is a good proposed explanation for a phenomenon. For instance, we might hypothesize that the lack of educational resources in rural areas leads to higher dropout rates. Fourth one, research design. This is where we plan how we will collect data. We'll use surveys, interviews, or observations. Data collections. Once the design is set, we gather the actual data. This could mean conducting surveys, interviews, or field observations. Sixth one, analysis and interpretation. After collecting the data, we analyze it to identify patterns or test hypotheses. And the seventh, conclusion and theory development. Finally, based on our analysis, we draw conclusions and may drop new theories that explain the phenomenon we studied. This process ensures that our research is systematic and that our findings are credible. There are different types of social research, each with its own purpose. First one, exploratory research. It used when we don't know much about the topic. For example, if a new social media trend emerges, we might conduct exploratory research to understand its effects on teenagers. Right? Second one, descriptive research. It describes a phenomenon in detail. For instance, we might describe the characteristics of an aging population in a specific region, focusing on their health, income, and living conditions. In the case of exploratory research, seeks to explain why something happens. For example, why do students from disadvantaged backgrounds perform worse in schools? Explanatory research helps us understand the reasons behind such trends. Fourth one, evaluative research. This type of research assesses the effectiveness of policies or programs. For instance, we might evaluate whether a new educational policy improves student outcomes in rural schools. Each of these types serves a different purpose, and depending on what we are investigating, we select the most appropriate approach. Conducting social research involves following a specific process. Let's go through it step by step. Conceptualization. This is where we define what exactly we are going to study. For instance, If we are studying poverty, we need to define what poverty means in our context. Operationalization. We then determine how we will measure the concept we have defined. For example, if we define poverty as living on less than a certain income, we will measure people's earning to classify them. Data collection. Once we have our plan, gather the actual data using methods like surveys or interviews. Data analysis. After collecting the data, we analyze it to find trends and patterns. Theory development and validation. Based on our analysis, we may develop new theories or validate existing ones. Following this process ensures that our research is methodological and yields meaningful results. Social research is about finding the relationship between theory and fact. Here is how they relate. Theory. A theory is a set of principles that explain social phenomena. For example, social learning theory explains how people learn behaviors by observing others. Fact. Fact is something we can observe and verify. For example, it's a fact that in some societies, educational attainment is linked to income. Interconnections. Facts are used to test or build theories. A theory helps us interpret facts, and facts help us refine theories. For example, we may gather facts about crime rates and use those facts to support or challenge theories about social inequality. In research, facts and theories work together to give us clear understanding of social realities. Finally, let's discuss inductive and deductive reasoning in research. Inductive approach. We start with observations and develop a theory based on the data. For example, if I observe that students from rural areas often drop out of school, I might build a theory that explains why this happens based on my observation. This is common in qualitative research. Deductive approach. We start with a theory or hypothesis and collect data to test it. For example, if I hypothesize the lack of resources causes high dropout rates, I would collect data to test this idea. This is common in qualitative research. Both approaches are important, and often research involves a combination of both. Thank you so much for taking the time to join me with this session on social research. I hope you found the information useful and insightful as you move forward in your studies. If you enjoyed this session and found value in it, please don't forget to hit the like button and share it with your classmates or anyone else who might benefit from it. Also, make sure to subscribe to the channel to stay updated and upcoming sessions. This was just the first step. There is a lot more to come. For detailed study notes and related resources, you can find the link in the description below. Feel free to access those materials for further preparation. Thank you again, and I will see you in the next session.